All right, so kind of a different video today. We're going to be talking about Stardew Valley for a change of pace. The My Side video editing is taking longer than expected, so I'm just going to put this one out there because it's something that I noticed while scanning through SteamDB and looking at things, and I kind of dug into it a little bit so that I could talk about this because it's kind of a different perspective on the gaming industry as a whole, and I wanted to put that out there and kind of get it in your minds to kind of think about this because Stardew Valley is not something that I would expect a lot of people to be playing, but in fact, it is. It's something a lot of people are playing, and it's been popping onto this most played game list on and off for a while now. In fact, the last year it's been seeing massive player numbers, and I wanted to kind of take a video to provide my thoughts on it, some theories. I got 3 theories as to why this is happening, and I think all 3 could be, a third of or a part of why it's so successful, why it's got such staying power. So we're going to jump into that and talk about that. And I guess the first thing we can do is pop over to the SteamDB page and look at these charts to kind of see what we're talking about. So you can see on release, the player counts jumped up to 64,000. It dropped off, and it's had some spikes since, and it's been kind of gradually gaining steam. Around 2021 is when it really jumped up, and then that saw it have a new floor that's considerably higher than before. I think a lot of that has to do with COVID, where people were in their house and they weren't playing much, and they figured, oh, I got Stardew Valley, let's fire it up and see what's going on with Stardew Valley, and kind of get back into that. And I think that that's why we've seen this jump. But then in 2024, it had a massive jump, and I think there's a couple of reasons why this huge jump. Now it's dropped off and gone up and, basically zigzagged for the course of this year. But it's remained consistently high. And even now it's 129,889 simultaneous players. So that's considerably higher than it was, in 2023 and 2022, almost double. So why is this? Why is Stardew Valley have this staying power? Why is Stardew Valley as popular as it is now? Why is it hitting that most played games list on SteamDB? Well, the first reason that I think is because it is one of the top games on Steam Deck. It's one of the most played games on Steam Deck, and Steam Deck has had a huge boost in Steam. A lot of people are kind of focused on Steam Deck now. I think that that's why we have these numbers right here, and also why they're so unstable, why they go up and down so much, is because people are traveling or they're on the go or something, and they grab their Steam Deck, and that's when they pick up Stardew Valley because it's probably been installed for years, ever since they got their Steam Deck, or ever since they got their Steam Deck, they probably put Stardew Valley on there. But it's something that you can jump into and play and put down, so it's not like you're involved for hours. You can do a little bit here and there and jump in and play, and then shut it down and move along with your day. So I think that that's part of it. The other reason why I think it's so all over the place is because people do that in phases. So a bunch of people are traveling for work or on the go or holidays or what have you, and so they have this huge jump. Now March, I would imagine that it's probably just lousy weather would have a contributing factor for that, but who knows? But I think that's why this is jumping up and down, is because people jump in and out of their Steam Deck too. So I think that probably follows that curve a little bit. So that's for the first reason, is because it works so well with Steam Deck. Now the second reason why I think that this is as popular as it is because it's been nominated for a Labor of Love Steam Award this year. Now, to get a Labor of Love, you have to be involved in your community, and have been for a long time. So Stardew Valley, it's been since 2016 that this was launched, and so you're talking a decade plus. But they've been doing updates consistently. I mean, you can see this is the latest patch from December 20th, and then they've got other patches November 12th, November 8th. So they've been updating this. They've been adding things. They've been improving things. They've been iterating on this game for over a decade, and that's a level of dedication that not many other games have. And I think that brings people back, because if the developers are still involved in it, if they're still dedicated to it, if they're still continuing to advance it and iterate on it, I think that brings players in, that keeps eyeballs on it, that keeps people interested in playing it, to see what the new content is, to see what the new changes are, to check out any new features or what have you. And they've been continuing to do that for the past 10 years. I know when I first jumped in, there's a lot of things that are different now. It's been a long time since I played Stardew Valley, and there was a lot of changes. So I think that has a big impact on why people are coming back to this, why there is that staying power with Stardew Valley. The last thing is a more obvious one, which is that it is a fun game. It is very well written. It's very well polished. It has got a lot of things going on in it. It's a very deep game, and it's got that great end game content. Like, you don't have to finish the game, or you don't have to stop playing when you finish the game. You don't have to. It's not a play it through when you're done. There's just so many things that are building based, and it starts with the farming, but it's farming. It's the exploration aspect of it in the cave system. It's the interaction with the townsfolk, fishing. I mean, there's just so much going on in this world that can keep you engaged and interested, and keep wanting to advance things yourself. It's more of an end game content style game than even the main story is. And even though it is an RPG and it has that story, it's got so much more that people continue playing it outside of that story and after that story is completed. So that has a big impact on this game as well. And between those three things, between having this world that you can explore and build and kind of make your own story in, as well as having the mobility on Steam Deck and having it so easily able to jump in and do stuff and jump out, and then the fact that they're continuing on advancing this game and continuing to iterate on it, I think those three things really show you why we're getting these crazy numbers, these hundreds of thousands, 236,000 simultaneous players. I mean, that is quite an achievement. And I don't know how good this is for Stardew Valley. I don't know how good this is for the developers, because I mean, if it was me, I would have come out with Stardew Valley 2 by now. I would have had a new game, whereas they're basically devoting all their efforts into iterating on the game that they came out with. They have that dedication, and kudos to them for that, because it certainly doesn't help their bottom line. I mean, this is a buy it once and that's it kind of game for the most part. So there's not a lot of continuing revenue in this. There's not a lot of incentive for them to keep doing this, but they just love their game, and they continue moving forward with it. And that does score them a lot of respect in the industry, certainly from gamers. I mean, clearly 236,000 gamers highly respect their dedication to this, because they are playing it 10 years after the release date. So yeah, it's good on them. Maybe not great for their bottom line, but certainly garners a lot of respect from the gaming world, and certainly from me as well. So just something I wanted to kind of put out there, because it's not a game you normally think about being as popular as it is, but it is. It's one of the best games going for 2024, in my opinion. There's obviously some other ones out there. I mean, Marvel Rivals is kicking its butt, but Marvel Rivals is also a brand new game. I suspect that Marvel Rivals is going to drop off this list eventually. Path of Exile 2, clearly that's a traditional RPG. That's a play it through and you're done kind of game. So that'll drop off. GTA 5 with GTA Online clearly has the staying power. However, that's an interesting one, because that competitive online PvP kind of environment, the terminally on the continually online experience like GTA Online has, I think it's very saturated. And granted, GTA 6 could very well keep their audience going and not have an issue and push other players out of that sphere, but it's possible that it falls flat too. I mean, if they don't do this just right, if that single player game doesn't attract people into it and buy into the GTA 6 franchise from the 5, they might have some trouble with this, because it's not the same industry. It's not the same online environment that GTA 5 moved into with GTA Online. It's a different world now, so it could be an issue. And you know, a lot of these are going to be an issue. Now, Rust, I think is fairly well entrenched in its world. I think Rust players are going to continue to be Rust players. I don't think that that's going to go anywhere because that is another game with a lot of staying power, a lot of dedicated players, and it's just going to continue on as it is, and it's going to continue on this list. Same with Dota 2, Counter-Strike 2. Those are and PUBG. Those are all clearly going to stay where they are. They're entrenched on their thrones pretty consistently. But yeah, for Stardew Valley to be on that list and to be in consideration, I think, for being entrenched on its throne, that's quite an achievement for an indie game to be at that level. That's pretty wild. So, mad respect to Stardew Valley, mad respect to the developers, and you know, that's what I got today. So, I don't know, food for thought, something to think about. Are you guys Stardew Valley fans? Let me know in the comments what you guys think about this and why Stardew Valley is so popular as it is right now and has that kind of staying power where other games have fallen off. But yeah, let me know that in the comments. And if you like these kind of videos, subscribe to the channel, and I will talk to you guys later.